Well, now that we've talked about all of my CC Christmas essentials, we've foraged around the farm, finding the most beautiful natural elements, I thought we needed to take all of those components and bring them together to create a gorgeous creation. And what I say creation is because I'm doing something a little bit different today. So check out this container. It's actually a hanging pot. So I wanted to try something a little bit different. And you know what? I haven't planned this. So we're just going to design together. So I've started with the container, got this gorgeous gold glow, and now I have a mache pot. You can use an ice cream pail, so many different containers that you can easily fit into your other container. We just want to keep this in as good a condition as possible. I've added a little bit of snow in, so I know sometimes we don't normally have snow during the winter months, or it comes a little bit later. If you don't have snow, there's many other things. You could use perlite, you could also use some soil, but I wanted to keep it light and I wanted something that the stems could go into and almost freeze. So I'm going to add that in like so, nestle that inside. Now I want to create a little bit of a gridding system, and I'm going to do that by using a little piece of chicken wire. I have this left over from the farming season, so I'm just going to add that in like so. And then just to be on the safe side, I'm going to add a little bit of tape as well. Now this is floral tape, which works really well to adhere to wet surfaces or if there's going to be some moisture in there. But if you don't have this at home, guess what? I need you to go to your hockey bag and you're going to grab some hockey tape. It works really, really well. Sometimes it's a little wide, so you might actually have to trim down the center just a little bit, but that's a perfect way to do that. So I'm going to add this on like so, get that nice and taut there. Perfect. Great, there we go, looking absolutely beautiful as you can see there. I'm going to add another one in to create a crisscross effect. Depending on how large your container is, you might want to actually add a few other gridding in there, but I'm feeling really confident about this right now. Now, the fun part. Oh, I love this. So I'm going to look around a little bit. I'm going to get inspired. Let's be honest, I'm at Birchwood Meadows right now. There is so much inspiration around, and I'm going to call this Let Heaven and Nature Sing. So I'm going to be inspired by Mother Nature and all of the components. So I want to look for a couple pieces that maybe have a little bit of draping there. Okay, so we're going to do this. Ooh, look at this. This is a nice piece of juniper. I'm going to give it a little trim. Okay. Stick that in. Oh, that's looking good. The first couple pieces might be a little challenging to navigate, so take your time. Don't be discouraged if something is starting to fall over. You can easily add it back in. I'm going to add a little bit of our cedar in there to get a good base. Oh, look at this. This is beautiful. These are pieces I love finding in a container. Someone might be like, ooh, that's ugly, but I see beauty in it because it's got a great arch to it. So I'm going to add that in next. Off to the side, let's let that cascade a bit. Now, remember when we were foraging for that beautiful white spruce, the tree with character? We're going to add that in next. And so you'll notice I'm just adding a few pieces. And as I always say, it takes a little bit of time to get that initial base. I'm trying to, use the greens almost as a way of creating an additional gridding system. This works really, really well. And once you have that base, we can start to add in some of the branches and other components that might need some of that structure. So I'm going to add in another piece over here. Oh, I think a bit of Oregonia would look lovely. Now that we have this beautiful blue spruce in there, adding that Oregonia is going to give us that texture and visual interest. So I'm going to pop that piece in there. Ooh, Caroline Sapphire. Now, I will be honest, I don't often use Caroline Sapphire outside. I find that it can darken a little too much. I love it indoors. But in this case, we're going to be filling this so full, I think it'll be a great extra addition in there. Oh, look at the flow that creates. Now I'm thinking maybe I'm looking at this visually. You'll notice I talk a lot with my hands. I'm talking to the pieces of greenery to encourage them to move. Oh, look at that. Oh, so exciting. Okay, we're going to add this in over here. This is our silver fir. So again, layering, creating spectrum is so exciting. Now I'm going to add in some of our eucalyptus. Now this will freeze. It might turn a little brown, but again, we have some of those natural brown components as well that we've been harvesting too. A little bit of our pine. Now sometimes we've got to clean it off. This has got a little bit of fuzz left on it from the growing season. Sometimes I break this off as well. Add that there. Look at that. So beautiful. Okay, ooh, so I found these. These weren't on our foraging trip, but you know what? I wanted something absolutely gorgeous, and that little hint of red is perfect. It's off of a crabapple tree. So I'm gonna add that off to the side. Oh, and another wild one. There. Let's really sneak that in there. Oh, I'm loving how that's looking visually. I know it's almost blocking me from sight. Well, next up, we're gonna add in some beautiful seeded eucalyptus. Again, another favorite of mine, also of our brides as well during the wedding season. Adding that in gives so much texture. It almost looks like mini berries that are about to explode open. Next, I wanna get a bit more of the pine in, but you'll notice, Cory, what are you doing to that poor pine branch? Well, you know what? I'm trying to bend it a bit. Now, don't try to do this when it's super cold, okay? You wanna warm up the branch, and you wanna do some, very light bending of it so we can actually get it to cascade a bit. Okay, so I'm actually really, seeing that moment so that I can get a bit more cascade there. Oh, so it feels a bit more organic. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. You'll notice I'm not being overly fussy about, okay, this side has to be proportionate with this side. I'm actually trying to be asymmetrical. Next up, do you think we should add in some magnolia? I think we should, because it's a great filler. Look at that, an explosion there again. Okay, and I'm gonna take a couple of the smaller pieces, just for the repetitive nature of that, and add that down here. So, oh, so remember that grass that you probably were like, Cory, what are you doing? Why are you harvesting grass in the middle of winter? Well, because it's gonna make this arrangement look extra special. So I've clustered it together. I'm not doing it individual. I wanna get a nice little movement of the grass in there. It's such a nice little farmhouse addition into there. And that sweet clover, of course we're not gonna go too big. Well, Cory Christopher would go that large, but I'm trying to contain myself today a little bit. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna open up these clippers and give this a little cut as well. Pop that in, a little off to the side, I think. I wonder what lucky tree this might get to hang from. Then, we are talking about beautiful branches. So these dogwood branches, that red is just so inspiring. So let's add it off to this side like so. Oh, just gives you more movement. Ooh, we'll add a little cedar in there as well. Okay, get that in. Ooh, another piece. I might want to add, I'm looking at this visually and I'm seeing that, I need to get a little bit more out front here. So I'm going to do that by adding in another little branch, weaving that through like so, adding that in there. Oh, and let's get another piece of this gorgeous sweet clover in there. Oh, there we go. Oh, I think we're getting close. I want to get cotton in there, again, because I want this to almost be a winter-inspired arrangement. Something that'll last into January and February. And it's nice, as you can see, it's getting a bit more challenging to get each piece into there as we are trying to, fill this arrangement up. Oh, that's a nice addition. And then let's not forget our beautiful sunflowers for the birds to nibble on. I bet you we'll find some perched on here. Wouldn't that be a lovely little touch? I love creating things that nature loves to enjoy. Well, I think we're almost done there. I'm going to add a few finishing touches, and then I'm going to show you where I'm going to hang this for the holiday season. Oh my gosh, look how beautiful that looks. A little Cory Christopher hole. I always come prepared. Okay, pop those in for those little finishing touches. Well, I think heaven and nature truly is singing. I'm feeling like I need to warm up, so let's head inside the greenhouse and we're gonna build the most beautiful living Christmas arrangement.